This is the most incredible role anybody's ever been on in show business, in my opinion. As a director, I'm talking about. The first 7 movies out of the box are all fucking classics. You got Spinal Tap, Sure Thing, and then Stand By Me.
Right.
And now I would imagine in your life, any studio will do business with you after that comes out.
Well, here's what's interesting. First of all, Stand By Me, I was nervous about because it was reflective of my personality. I thought if people don't like this is what I like to do, which is to marry humor and drama and all that stuff. Then they're not going to, and then it was a success, you know? So now I'm thinking, what would I, you know, I thought, Princess Bride is my favorite book of all time. I love it because it has romance and satire and adventure. And the studio had said, we'll do whatever you want. I said, no. They said, whatever you want. I said, I want to make a movie out of The Princess Bride. They said, well, not that.
Yeah, because
not anything but that.
The reason they said that is that book was successful, but a lot of directors had tried to make that movie, right?
Right.
And they couldn't get it off the ground.
Right. It was Francois Truffaut tried to make it.
Robert Redford tried to make it.
Yes, Robert Redford, Norman Jewison.
They all failed at it.
Well, they couldn't get anybody interested because it is a very oddball mixture of things. I mean, to mix satire and romance and adventure, it's...
The next movie that comes up is When Harry Met Sally, which is the all-time classic. It was pretty bold to choose Billy Crystal as a leading love interest. You know what I mean? Because no one thought of him like that.
Now, to be completely honest, and Billy knows this, I'm not telling tales out of school. He was my best friend, and I was nervous about doing it with my best... What if it... Again, what if this doesn't work?
Right.
What is this going to do? I had gone to Albert Brooks.
Right.
I had gone to Tom Hanks.
Right.
I had talked to Michael Keaton.
Wow.
Different people.
Great actors.
And
more of a leading men type.
Yeah, and that in that time they,
Right.
you know, and Richard Dreyfuss.
Right.
Richard Dreyfuss I had talked to. And so it was, then I said, you know, something, Billy's the best one. And I'm going to, you know, I know he's,
and Billy nailed it.
Hey, boy, did he.
He nailed
and not
it.
only did he nail it, but he contributed like crazy. The biggest laugh in the movie, I'll have what she's having, that was Billy's line.
I'll have what she's having.
He came up with it while we were in rehearsal.
Right.
And then, like, you know, you think he would have played it safe and said, okay, I'll do another comedy, a romantic comedy, this and that. Then Misery, you know, you take a Stephen King story and Misery. What a fucking great movie that was.
Yeah.
With Misery, it seems like James Caan was born for that role. He did it great. But there were like 20 other guys.
Oh, yeah. No. I had gone through Robert Redford and Warren Beatty and William Hurt. I mean, it was, you know, Kevin Kline, everybody. And then...
Everyone but James Caan.
Yeah, and the James was, you know, at that time, you know, people were worried about him because of his drug issue, but he was clean and he said, okay, I can do that. I said, okay. And Misery was interesting because I love thrillers. I don't make them.
Right.
But I love them. I love a good thriller. If you make a really smart thriller, I'm you know, first one there. But this one I understood because you talked about it before, the pressure of being successful doing something and then trying to move away from it, which is what that whole movie is about.
Yep.
A guy who becomes successful writing a certain type of book and wants to write something else. And that was a Stephen King thing.
And that's sort of your life, too. But that's sort of your life because you keep changing genres and doing all this different stuff. Do you think those other actors, for one reason or another, didn't work out because that is just a really difficult role to play? Because if you think about it, that movie's more like a play. It's two character
And it's also
play.
the Kathy Bates part. I mean, the Annie Wilkes. That's the flashy part. That's the really great part.
What does it mean? Like, Kathy Bates is such an intense actress that she used to take the character home.
Yeah, she did it at the beginning, and then I said to her, Kathy, you don't want to be doing this. You're a good enough actress. You have a great craft. Don't do this. You're going to make yourself crazy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
so as a director, you have to stop. Yeah. And then, I mean, the list goes on. This role is A Few Good Men. You know, gee whiz.
Is that the result of having so much success? Because look at the cast. Man, you got Tom Cruise, you got
Nicholson,
Jack
and Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
And then Kevin Bacon. And
all the biggest people at that time.
Yeah, no, it was a great cast. And what was interesting is that Jack Nicholson, in the first reading, he read it the way he performed it eventually on screen.
Wow.
And what it did is it sent a signal to all the young actors there. You better step up.
Up your game.
This is, you know, it was like Babe Ruth stepping into the cage and smacking him into the upper deck.
Rob,
it was like, okay.
As a director and you got a guy like Jack Nicholson, can you make suggestions and is he open to them? Or do you just have to keep your mouth shut?
No, absolutely. I mean, every actor's different. Some actors like hands-on, you know, even line readings. I mean, I will give if they want them. And some actors like to be left alone, and you just have to gauge that.
You will sometimes, if an actor asks you for it, they'll say to you, "How would you do this line?" And you'll do it.
Absolutely.
No kidding.
And what's good is the really secure actors will do that.